wrote it into the bill.
And what bill?
Into the big, beautiful bill.
All right, folks, this is the Brown Duke Gun Show. We are actually here, all of us in studio, and really kind of catching up on news. You guys hear us talking in the background as we started, but really wanted to start off here with the big, beautiful bill. Is that what that's what he calls it,
the
right?
Triple B.
So we thought it was going to be really good for the silencer industry, but now I guess what's happening, I'm not up to speed. $4,200 tax stamp now? What's that all about?
There's a Democratic senator, I'm not too sure where he's from. Brandon's reading it right now, but they are trying to introduce a new portion to the bill that would increase the tax stamp prices to $4,700, which is that if you're wondering where that price comes from, it's the inflation accountability from the original $200 tax stamp from, we were just now talking about when none of us can remember the year. Let's just call it before the 30s, right. To now. So it's $4,700 is what they're saying the price of a tax stamp should be now.
I thought it was zero. What happened to zero?
It is.
I like zero.
That's the first thing that this one's saying is the likelihood of the bill making it into law is slim.
Yeah, I mean,
but
still, it's something that
that's the Democrats' grab.
It's Democrats.
Though.
It's the same thing. Like we've been trying to push this where they're off the registry for years, and like it never happened. So they're probably going to start doing this for years until hopefully it never happens.
$4,200. Like that's
so
absurd.
They did this $200 things. This was like a big talk before, and they did it whereas $200 was so expensive. It would be like $4,700, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's what the inflation is. So at that time, whenever they did this, it was like, it's not worth it to buy a silencer and pay $4,700.
Yeah.
Right?
What a silencer's like $400.
It was for machine guns.
For machine guns and all this stuff. So it's like not worth it to get that unless you're super wealthy, right? Like and you see these third world countries or other countries that don't have legal firearms. Right. Some people still have them, but they're like super wealthy, right? So that's what they're trying to do with America. And whenever they did the NFA thing, that's what they try to do. And eventually, like it stayed at $200 and it went up. Right. And now $200 is not that much money to buy the silencer. It's
okay. Yeah. It's like okay. A fraction of the cost of the actual silencer.
Yeah. And so, it's not like I remember like even as a kid, like $100 you could buy a bunch of stuff. Now like you go to dinner, it's $100 easy for two people. It's terrible. Right. So like inflation just within 10 years or 20 years has went up. So imagine what it's been like for 100 years. Yeah. Right. Like
well actually I looked, so interestingly enough, one of the things that I was looking up yesterday randomly was the price of gold, right? And what the price of gold was 20 years ago versus yesterday, right? And gold per ounce was $400 something 20 years ago. And to buy a 1 ounce gold coin today is $3,300.
Yeah, so it's over 3,000.
So you can imagine.
Yeah,
right?
It's crazy. So like that stuff, and it's surprisingly, it's actually never changed. Like I'm kind of surprised that they never went up on it because there's so many silencers getting approved. Right. It's like, why didn't they say, hey, instead of jumping up that much, why didn't they do like, hey, it's $300 now, $400? Right. Like they could have easily done that and people would have still paid it. Correct. And they would have made even more money.
It would have gone under the radar. Like
it would have gone under the radar. Yep. And so I'm surprised that they never did it. And now I'm even more surprised that they took that tax stamp out. Right. Like last month, passed a bill where silencers and sharp-barreled rifles now, effective January 1st, will not need a $200 tax stamp. You still have to do all the paperwork. You still have to go through the Form 4 and everything. So everything's the same except that you don't have to pay the $200 tax stamp. Right. You still have to do it for machine guns, but not for those two items that I know of. What's that?
Go ahead. Finish up.
So that's going to be great for the silencer industry. Whenever that time comes. And I made a few posts on Instagram and Facebook on Sentry's page about that. Guys they're still buying silencers now, and there's two things that I would definitely buy a silencer if you want one. Buy it now. There's two ways in doing it. Either you buy the silencer now and you wait until January 1st to do the paperwork. We offer that service. So silencers are in stock. That's why you want to buy it now.
Right.
When January 1st comes, everyone's going to go out
It's
and
gonna be
buy
pandemonium.
silencers.
Yeah.
And all the silencers are going to go out of stock. And then you're going to be sitting there like, well, I want to buy one, but I can't.
Right.
Or I have to settle and buy this silencer that I don't really want. And once you buy a silencer, there's no resale value typically.
Right.
Because of the whole process. Number one is the $200 tax stamp, but because you got to transfer it to another person for $200. But they still have to go through all the paperwork if you buy it and sell it to someone else.
Yeah.
So they don't want to do that.
Which they don't have an electronic form for that. So
Yeah. So like they're going to be like, nah, I don't really feel like dealing with this, so let's just not do it.
Right.
So it's very hard to sell a used silencer. So buy the one that you want and make sure you do your research. We always tell people that. Like, we have some people walk in and they'll want to buy a silencer that day, and they're like, well, I don't know what to get. And it's like, okay, look, I think this is what you are going to want.
Right.
Like, and I'm pretty much going to guarantee you're going to walk back in here in a week and be like, yeah, I did all my research and that's the one, because I'm giving you all the information.
Right.
But I want you to go home and like think about it and do your own research.
Yeah.
Right. That way you don't come back after a week of purchasing or after 6 months and be like, man, I should have bought this one. This one fits my needs better. Right. So I tell people, make sure they do that and buy one, and buy the one you want right now because it's in stock. The other thing that you can do is buy it, do the paperwork, and pay the tax stamp right now and get it back sooner. Because in January, whenever all these people go out and buy silencers, they're all going to do the Form 4s because it's free tax stamps.
Right.
And the wait times are going to be, instead of 1 month or anywhere's right now, it's like 1 week till I say a month.
Right.
That's usually the typical times. We have some of them that are 6 months, but usually it's like within a month. They're going to go out, that wait time's going to jump up to 6 months to a year.
Right.
Right. Because everybody's going to be out there doing it. So if you want it now and you don't mind paying the extra $200, we have some people that's like, the money thing's not the issue. It's, I want the product now.
If it's worth $200 for
Go
you to
do
get to bypass the wait, then
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, is 6 months worth $200 to you? If it is, go ahead and buy it right now, fill out the paperwork, and be done with it.
Right. Because right now nobody's buying them.
No one's buying them.
Yeah.
Right. So the wait times are going down, and we've actually I don't know exactly what's happening. You don't hear anything from the ATF, right? They don't call and tell you like, hey, we're doing this now.
Right.
But what I have seen is that we've had 3 disapprovals, so not denies, but disapprovals come back within the last like 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. So, and what they're doing is like anything that's a background check that's further than like what it is, they'll wait a X amount of time and they'll just disapprove it if nothing is back. So we've had 2 people that had some stuff like on their record in the past, like arrest or something. And I'm thinking they contacted the agency, like let's say it's Lafayette Sheriff Department or whatever. And if they didn't get back with them within a week or so, because usually like ATF calls them, they don't deal with that every day.
Sure.
They're probably like, well, I got to call this person. I got to call that person,
Yeah.
And if no one gets back with them or it slips underneath the cracks, they'll disapprove the silencer.
Sure.
So what that's doing is speeding up the process for everyone else, right? Because they don't have so many of them on the books.
Right.
It's kind of a good thing. It's just more of a pain for the person that
gets disapproved.
But it also lets them figure out like, hey, there's something else that I need to do. That way they're not just sitting in limbo for a year and then realize it's disapproved.
And then they get disapproved.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're like kind of catching it a little bit earlier and saying like, hey, if they don't get back with us within 2 weeks or so, we're just going to disapprove it.
Right.
Which is, I think it's great, because we have some people that's waited a year and they're getting upset at us and they're like, well, I don't know what's wrong. Like I took care of all that. It's like, yeah, but they're not communicating within each other. So it lets the user do whatever work they need to do to get it figured out.
Yeah.
And not
sense.
giving hands to the feds to try to figure it out.
Okay. So
I do like that idea.
Yeah, I'd like to welcome everyone to the segment of the show called Austin's Hot Takes.
all right, here we go. Let's get spicy.
I would like to read this quote from the U.S. Senator that proposed the $4,700 tax stamp. U.S. Senator Chris Murphy, a Connecticut Democrat. And I quote, "If we want to save lives in this country, we have to find a way, come hell or high water, to stop the mass legalization of silencers in this country." End quote.
So
okay.
mass legalization. Well, number one, they're legal.
So they've been legal since 1930 something. Okay.
Probably even before then, I'd imagine. They just got regulated in 1937, right?
So that's the first thing. So you don't even know what you're talking about because they've been legal for forever. And again, the process doesn't change. And the second thing is, if we want to save lives,
how do we want to save hearing? Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. It's not like people are going out and committing more crimes with cans with silenced weapons than anything else.
This is the typical not even talking political party. This is just the typical politician that has no idea, is speaking way above his pay grade in terms of not even knowing what you're proposing. This is the guy that thinks when you put a silencer on a gun, it James Bonds it.
Yeah. It makes it more.
They've had one
shooting with a
mass shooting. Yeah.
No.
It was just that one guy that got assassinated.
Yeah, the assassination.
And it was a 22.
Or like mass public, thing. Like I'm sure they've had other crimes committed with silencers that it didn't make to the news. But
what mass? What mass?
Like the
mass one?
It wasn't a mass shooting. It was like a one that made.
Oh,
like,
you're talking about the one we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it made like regular news.
Yeah.
That was the only one that we've heard of in years, right?
Yeah.
Like so, it's not that this is making it more lethal or anything else.
Criminals don't tend to they don't tend to have nice stuff.
Yeah.
They don't.
Unless they're
stolen.
Stolen or like a cartel, right?
The cartel has nice stuff. They have gold AKs.
Yeah,
right.
But even the guy who assassinated the other guy it was like a 3D printed silencer and a 3D printed gun or something. Like
I mean,
it's a 22.
It's like
it's not a nice.
We had one, and look, one shooting is too many. We all agree on that. But we had one shooting that encompassed a Daniel Defense rifle or something.
Just Sandy Hook.
And that still was like really weird. Like, you know, like that's still kind of an eyebrow raiser as to why, anyway.
Well, yeah, they asked her, like, how does
somebody that was living with their parents and drove like a truck from the 80s go out and afford a $2,400 rifle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the questions, like, how does he afford that type of rifle?
Very, very weird. And why?
Yeah. Well, also, you've probably seen it at the range. There are probably people who probably need to be putting that money in their 401k.
Yeah.
Putting that into their safe, in
rifle.
in the form of a rifle. Yeah. So,
but there's more people that fit like whenever we get traces back, like you don't know what happened with the gun, right? Like, but if you get a trace from the ATF,
there's no traces on staccatos.
Yeah, there's no traces on staccatos. Like it's always on a Taurus or like a Glock pistol, like generic Glock or something. We've had a couple of them on like regular 365 SIGs and things.
Sure.
But it's never.
It's not usually the high end stuff.
It's not high end stuff, right? Because usually people take better care of it. They don't get it stolen,
right?
And they don't go and commit crimes with it.
Yeah. Well, and you got to think, right? Like the whole process for getting anything past the process for an NFA item, you've got to go through, like you were just saying, right? You got to go through the cops, you got to go through Fed, you got to go through all of this stuff, and if you were permitted to have the silencer or the short barrel rifle, you don't have anything on your record.
Chances are you're not.
You're a law-abiding citizen.
Yes.
Right.
Like, yeah. So
great movie. So yeah, I mean, I think the end of Austin's hot take is just that and I think that this is just another note as far as the 2A community. When we read about these bills and these whatnot that's being presented, is that like, regardless of your stance on politics, is that and even outside of the 2A community, we really need to we need to vet the people that are passing these bills.
Yeah.
And when we vote on stuff like this, like we really need to be sure that we know what we're talking about. Because I mean, saving lives and stopping mass legalization. So like, again, we talked about the saving lives, but like this mass legalization, like you're just wrong.
Yeah.
Like
it's legal. It's always been legal.
Yeah. Like, this is typical like political scare tactics. But I mean, you know what? We need to see what John Kennedy has to say on the topic.
John Kennedy.
I have his number. I'll call him.
There you go.
What about this? Set this guy straight.
Well, he texted me the other day. I don't know.
I grew up with his son.
Oh, did you? No, I mean, I just get his robo text.
I have his number. Yeah, I grew up with his son.
Which the craziest thing is like, So we know the gun industry in detail, right? Me and you talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
It's like we know the gun industry, and they're making claims like this, and they'll get up there and be like, this clip will, kill this many people within this many seconds, and like
it holds
spewing out facts.
It holds 223 bullets.
Yeah, like they don't even know what facts are,
and they explode on contact. Like, no,
so they're saying all this BS, and it's like, I know that those are wrong.
Yeah.
So like, what else are they lying?
Yeah,
right. Like, what else are they making up? Like, especially in stuff that really matters, like healthcare.
Yeah, or like taxes, or like
taxes.
stuff,
or the wars, or
like stuff that we might not know a lot about, and you would like,
That's right.
as far as taxes, like something along this line, where it's like if they were to imply like a scare tactic, it's like. So somebody, I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know a lot about taxes. I mean, I pay them.
We have to pay them. Yeah, that's the only thing I know. We have to pay them.
But I mean, like, think like Brandon's saying, like, if they do this with this, imagine what they're doing with our taxes and our healthcare. It's like it's terrifying.
They're like, oh, we need to ban this substance because it's killed 4,000 million people this year.
Exactly.
And it's like,
you're like,
oh yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, yeah, we should probably get rid of that.
We should probably get rid of it, right? Like, I'm agreeing with them.
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't have even looked into this. They're just made up a number on the spot.
Yeah.
And so like tell people, and people believe them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, think about all the other stuff, or even worse, like, hey, we need to go to war with this country because they've killed 5 of our, civilians that were just walking down the street. And I'm like, hell yeah, we need to go to war with them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pissed off now.
Yeah.
And it didn't even happen.
Yeah, they just didn't pay their bills, so we gotta go.
We're gonna find out, like, these were people that like renounced their U.S. citizenship, and went and fight the war for the other country.
Yeah. And then they got smoked.
Got killed. And now they're making this stuff up. Right?
Somebody asked about that the other day, because there was like something in the news about an ex-Marine that went fight in the Ukraine and got killed, and there was a news article about it or something, and somebody asked me about like we should do something about that. Like,
what should we do?
It's like,
tell people not to fight for the other side.
Yeah, you made a decision.
You made a decision. Like, what do you want us to go get involved? I mean, we might get involved. I don't know.
Well, that's a whole.
Think about all those things that they're messing up because of that.
Well, and that's why like the stuff like why podcasts became popular, and like Joe Rogan is so popular now because he's calling bullshit on everybody.
Yeah,
and he's has the platform to be able to pull them on. It's like, okay, the what you call it, the FBI director.
Yeah.
He pulled him on, had him talk about whatever, and then he has other people talk about, he had different guests that talk about different stuff of like, well, actually, we think he's full of crap because of this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we wouldn't know any of that if podcasts didn't exist. And
they didn't have a platform because they censor everything else.
Because they would censor,
That's why podcasts is probably so popular, because you can't get on the news and say whatever you want now. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're going to censor everything. Or I've done interviews with like even local news media. Thankfully, like, there's some of them that's good, and make sure to like only choose those people. But like, they'll contact me all the time. Like, hey, this happened in, national news. We want to get your opinion on it. And I'm like, no, I'm not making a statement on that, because I'm going to go for a 30-minute long conversation with you. You're going to cut out 10 minutes of it and rearrange my words and say that I'm against something that
You're
I'm
against
not
guns.
against. Like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think we need to get U.S. Senator Chris Murphy on here. I want to hear his reasoning behind this.
Well, actually, the best shot we have of getting a U.S. Senator, by the way, is the one Blake Miguez.
That's right.
Who is up for election. If you guys are looking for somebody who is into 2A rights, vote for Blake.
And people always ask me all the time, like, he's big in 2A. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, he's the person in 2A in politician. Like, there's no one else that does anything in guns that are politicians. They might say they're with guns, but they don't actually, they're not in the industry. Blake's like in the industry.
Okay.
Right? That's why I'd we say go vote for him, but if you're outside of, our state, like, Blake would be a great person to look to for reasonable answers and stances on topics like this. He's not gonna stand for stuff like this.
Yeah, whatever he's standing for, like, call your senator and be like, hey, you need to
align with that.
Because he knows
because that's what the gun community wants.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
So
they had a guy on his social media the other day. He, on his video that he did for his launch of Senator running, he shot a rifle that I built him, and it had a AR a pistol brace on it, right?
Okay.
And we had built this years ago, and it was probably like 4 years ago. I built him 2 rifles, identical. You know, like in competition, you always have 2 guns.
You always have to have 2.
So same idea that he had for everything else. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So we built 2 exact rifles, and they had pistol braces on them. And he, last year, being a law-abiding citizen and being politic, all this stuff, he's like, hey, whenever the pistol brace thing came out that you had to register them in order to keep it on there, he's like, what do you think I should do? Should I like SBR them, or should I register them? Like, just register them. There's a free $200 tax stamp. So he's like, done. So he ended up registering them, right? And then he makes a video, and he's like shouldering the gun and everything. And they had some guy like comment, I can't believe that as pro 2A you're going to do something like that and shoulder a pistol brace. That way it makes it bad for all of us. And like, you're doing something illegal. I can't believe you didn't know that. And so like, I'm seeing this, I'm like, do they not know that he's like caught up to date with, like, he makes the laws in Louisiana, right? Like he knows, caught up to everything that possible. And he has these things registered. They're an SBR now. Like he also has transferable machine guns, right? Like that are all registered. Like, he's in the industry. He knows all about this stuff. You didn't just catch him on stuff.
Well, you think it's like he's a politician, right? Like, forget that he's our friend, number one, but like, he's a politician. Any politician who's made it found any sort of success, they're not going to put something out there that's going to be it's like, it's so easy. It's so easy. And he's a 2A guy, you know, and it's like, if he's shouldering a pistol brace, there's a reason. Like, he's thought about it. Like, he would have enough guns that if he had a pistol brace one and they wanted to do a shoot, they're like, well, why don't we just get a regular rifle instead of,
like,
you know, making
you see all kinds of politics shooting rifles, and whenever you look at the brand, it's like a
easy. Austin's hot takes was 5 minutes ago.
it's a like standard run of the mill like rifle, like
either entry level,
Smith and
there
Wesson,
we go,
DPMS, like something like that. You know, like $500-$600 AR that their cousin owned, and was like, oh, I have an AR-15
with like an airsoft red dot on it.
Like, and they're like shooting that, and they're like, oh, I stand with 2A. Like, no. Like, Blake's had it like Geisy rail, like, you know, LMT bolt, like Geisy trigger, like he had a $3,000 rifle that I built him, and like, you know, I have a federal firearms license. I have a SOT that's attached to that. I'm a manufacturer of firearms, and like, we're personal friends. He has other personal friends that are gunsmiths in the industry. You know, he knows Richard Lipsey, like one of the biggest distributors in the nation. Like, he has personal friends with him. Like, he has all these contacts. You don't think that he knows the law about like, he has transferable belt-fed machine guns. What other politician owns transferable belt-fed machine guns?
I can't think of any.
None. Like, I can't think of any. Like, he definitely knows what is legal and what's not legal.
For sure.
You know?
Oh man. Well, there you go. Go vote for Blake. Vote for him. If you are not in our district or in our state, and you still want to support, go give him some money on his website. That's what I can say. BlakeMiguez.com. There's the plug. So next, one thing I wanted to get to, the guy from TikTok. Before that, about one last thing on Blake. The funny thing that I've seen is when we posted this stuff, you know, promoting Blake and saying, hey, go vote for him. The comments that I got back on some of that stuff were like, hey, did you know he shot a dog? And it was like, what are you talking? Like, are you serious? You know, like, and he laughed about shooting a dog. And then there's like all these, you know, animal rights activists, you know, are like talking about this whole thing. I'm like,
what's crazy is like the person that it was actually that thing, person he ran against in the senator thing burned dogs. In a cane field thing. That's what the whole PR thing was. Yeah,
what are we talking? I know. What are we?
So whenever he ran for Louisiana State Senator,
I know who you're talking about. You don't have to say names, but
so they had a
but why did the story? I don't even care about all that. I'm just saying, like, what is this story about?
Because they saw dogs and it died. Like, the dog died. So I guarantee they like linked it as like, oh well, he must have shot a dog because he's in 2A. Like, that's just a made up thing. Like, that's how people do.
So,
like, they'll see a headline.
So I'm in the gun community, and I own a business that does gun stuff. So my grandmother dies. Did I shoot her?
Yeah, that's pretty much
No,
what they
I
did.
guess that's what they did. I don't know, but that was like a big
Sorry,
comment
G-Mo.
on one of the.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, did you know he laughed about shooting a dog? He shot his friend's dog and laughed about it or something like that. It's like, are you a bot?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
are you a real person?
Please be AI.
People
Yeah.
are insane.
Well, I just
I love it.
And
shove
that's
it
how
off to
rumors
AI
start,
anyway.
right?
Yeah,
Like, that's
exactly.
how-
That's exactly what it is. But, our podcast is, very small, and I'm sure they're just putting it out there because it's like, oh, now we can make it an issue because nobody's going to fact check us on the Brown Duke Gun Show.
At me.
Yeah, exactly.
At me.
Try me.
Yeah.
So anyway, that I wanted to address that to make sure we cleared the air about
that didn't happen.
Blake
Yeah.
laughing about shooting a dog. So, but that did remind me about the TikTok guy who did reach out to me to ask about a question about red dots and shooting one eye open versus two eyes open. And I want to just put this out there, because I don't think about this a lot anymore, but I did used to be one of those shooters that when I would get a sight picture on an iron sights gun, I would close one eye, right? And a lot of people do that. And it took me a long time to break that habit. But once I broke it, it was gone, right? But, it's a legit question for people who are just getting into red dots and, shooting one eye versus two eye. My opinion is that when you're getting into red dots, you need to have both eyes open, right? Because the advantage
It's
of
not
the
an
red dot.
opinion. It's like, that's what you need to do.
True. But even I say that, but Eric Graffel will say that if he's shooting a long range partial,
On irons, though.
Oh, on irons.
Yeah.
Was it irons? I thought he said even red dot.
No, I don't think. I think it's on irons.
Okay.
You have to,
Well, yeah, but
do one.
point is, my opinion, 25. It doesn't matter. Both eyes open. Train yourself to do that. Target focus. That's what you want to do with a red dot, and it's not easy. And it's one of those skills that kind of goes away, and you have to keep training yourself to do it. Especially if you're not up on red dots and you're not shooting them a lot. So that's my thought. What do you guys think?
I think number one, the guy is not target focusing because he
Probably
wouldn't
not.
ask that question.
Yeah.
Because like whenever you're walking around, you don't close one eye and like look at people.
Right.
You have both eyes open and you're looking away.
Speak for yourself.
Especially on Pirate Day.
Yeah, Pirate Day. But like that's the reason why people close one eye is because the gun is closer and they're like double vision on that instead of they can't see their target in the peripheral vision. So they're closing one eye in order to get a clear sight picture on the front sight.
Right.
So if he's closing one eye on his red dot, that means he's looking at the dot, not looking at the target.
Correct.
Right. So the second you look at the target, you're like, well, this is not difficult at all. It's a no-brainer. Like I don't have to close one eye at all because I don't like walk around with one eye closed.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first thing that he's doing incorrectly is he's not target focusing. And once he does that, he'll easily realize like, oh, that's not a dumb question because like if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, if you don't know, yeah.
But he'd be like, oh, now I completely understand why I don't need to do that.
Yeah. I think this is probably a good candidate to try the thing that I tell our guys a lot when they're getting into red dot. Tape the dot.
Yeah.
Put some tape on the dot. Use painter's tape. Don't use duct tape. Tape that you can take off, but put a piece of tape over the dot, the lens, so that when you're looking at the target, the dot will still overlay if you have it taped. But if you're looking at the sight, then you can't see anything because it's taped, right? If you're essentially trying to tunnel through the lens.
And put it on the front.
Put it on the front, yeah. Don't put it
on the front of the glass. Don't
Yeah.
put it on the inside of the glass.
the closest to the muzzle, not the closest to the hammer
Man,
or whatever.
I can't see the dot.
But yeah, no, you're a good candidate for that. Try taping the dot, occluding the dot somehow. I don't recommend this to as a long-term solution, right? You need to recognize that you're not target focused and then learn how to target focus. And then you can take that tape off once you're more comfortable getting that target focus. Some people like to occlude the dot. That's your preference. Once you've made it to that level, your preference doesn't matter, but chances are,
and it's usually only like, in quotes, experienced shooters that have issues with this, right? Like guys have been shooting iron sights for years.
Yeah.
They've been training their brain to look at the front sight. So look somewhere it's close instead of looking at the target.
Yeah.
And that's where the difficult part is, because whenever they hear someone say like, oh, well, you need a target focus, and they're like, well, I've been shooting for a while, like I don't need to hear this part. It's like, no, that's the people that do have issues.
yeah, absolutely.
With it,
Yeah,
you
this
know?
is the way now, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not the
New
old
shooters never have like
Correct.
any issues with it. Kind of like look at the target and like, okay, that's what I've been doing.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, perfect. You don't have a bad habit of looking at the front sight or looking at the gun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I guess I forget his handle on TikTok, but if you have any other questions, let us know. Happy to address those. But that's kind of our take on the red dot. The one question I probably ask you, Austin, about red dots is like with rifles. When you have like a non-magnified, red dot on a rifle, do you shoot two eyes open still?
Always.
Always?
Yeah.
Okay.
You always should be.
So same thing.
It's the same concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially with a rifle, because the rifle is going to block more of your field of view if you happen to shoot with one eye closed.
Yeah.
So you're reducing your situational awareness and ability to see around you.
Okay.
But it's the same thing that
Same
if
concept.
if you're closing one eye, chances are you're dot focused.
Yeah.
You need to be target focused. So same thing. Magnified optics obviously are different.
That was going to be my question too.
You can still shoot two-eyed open with a magnified optic. It's a very learned skill. It depends on the situation. Like hunting, there's not really a reason why you should be shooting with two eyes open. But it is a learned thing. Chris Kyle was one of the guys that was a big advocate of shooting with two eyes open on a magnified optic.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But it's a very, very hard skill because you're at that point your two eyes are not parallaxed on the same plane.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's kind of disorienting. It's like this is a very like unique situation, but it's like guys that use like a monocular night vision. Like that's one of the hardest things you'll ever do because your depth perception is so off in one eye versus the other.
Yeah.
So that's my, if it's a high powered optic, like an actual, like a 3.5 to 25, you probably should be shooting just with one eye. LPVOs, you can, it's probably pretty good practice to learn to shoot with two eyes because your max magnification is probably like 8 or 10 power.
Sure. Okay.
And Brandon could probably talk more on that, but that's what I've been taught and learned.
Yeah, I kind of I do like shooting both eyes open, even on magnified optics, but I do find it's a lot more difficult, and I think it's also by the person and their eyesight, because if you have a more dominant eye in your like right eye, if you're right-handed, and you're on the rifle on the right side, it's a little bit easier for you to do that. If you're like both eyes are very, very close and you don't really have a dominant eye, it's very difficult to keep both eyes open because they're both fighting and it's disorienting, like Austin said.
Yeah.
So like maybe squinting one eye, like squinting your left eye instead of completely closing it, might start training the other eye. And you can change eye dominancy too. Like if you like cover one eye for a month or 2 months, your other eye will become more dominant. And
right.
I don't suggest like doing that, but you can do it. So maybe squinting one eye while you're behind the magnified optic, say like, hey, pick up this eye better. And the only reason why I like shooting two eyes open is because it doesn't fatigue that eye as fast.
Got it.
Whenever I close one eye, I typically leave the eye that's open for way too long, and I wear contacts, so they dry out a lot faster because that's the only information I'm getting in, right?
Right.
So like if I'm hunting or if I'm looking for something, I'm like, man, I want to make sure that I don't miss that shot or miss whenever the deer turns or runs off or something. So I keep it open the entire time and it starts drying out, and then I have to like really blink and get my contact resituated. Right. Whereas if I leave like both eyes kind of open, I'll naturally blink and not even know it.
Okay,
right?
that
Like
makes sense.
It's happening so fast that like whenever you blink, it's a millisecond,
right.
So you're not losing any information. But if you have one eye open and whenever you blink, you feel like you lost a lot of time.
Sure. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I kind of do that.
Okay, that makes sense. So, okay, well there you go. That's red dot, one eye versus two eyes, net pistol, two eyes, magnified rifle, one eye. So. There you go.
Do you feel that way too? Have you ever known that?
I think it's kind of a preference.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't think that there's I don't think it's like red dots where there is an answer. You know?
I agree. Yeah.
I think like I can't shoot like hunting. I can't do it with two eyes. It disorients the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I'm not gonna place a shot that I would with one eye.
Sure.
But if you learned that way, then it's different. But like with LPVOs, I shoot with two eyes open.
So do you, on your eyes, you don't wear glasses or anything, but like have you had them check? You wear contacts? I don't know.
Dog, I'm blind. -9.5. I'm
Hey,
Are they
man.
both the same?
You can use my glasses.
They're close enough.
They're close, yeah. So that could be a reason too. Like if they're both close and they are the same. I don't know.
I have terrible eyesight.
Yeah, that'll be you. If you're in -9, you're in my range.
Yeah, that's what I'm in.
So,
there
you go.
I'm legally blind without contacts.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Last thing today, I think we talked about this in the beginning before we started rolling. There was a mass shooting yesterday in New York. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was looking it up. I don't know anything about it.
I don't think they've released any.
So it was in, I think, Manhattan.
Okay.
And kind of to prove the point of the silencer issue, where it's like, oh, if we want to stop mass shootings, I don't know if you know this, but in New York, every gun is illegal.
Yeah.
You cannot own a firearm whatsoever. You can't own a bullet.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. So like a bullet in New York is a felony. So any gun is illegal.
Right.
And the guy somehow snuck in a rifle into the city and used that as a mass shooting. So just because it's illegal there in a safe space doesn't mean that you can't get a rifle in.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's always been the argument, right? It's illegal to have guns in schools. It's illegal to have guns in XYZ in bars and whatever, but people still.
It's a whole city.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, well,
massive city. The biggest
city in the U.S.
In the U.S.
Right.
And he still snuck a gun in, and I think he injured
Park
a bunch
Avenue,
of people.
Park Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. So not just anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, this
It was
is
in a skyscraper.
the heart of.
Yeah. I think he shot himself at the 30-something floor or something.
It's the headquarters of the NFL and Blackstone Investment Group. Ooh, might be some
Ooh.
Blackstone at it again.
That's right.
Yeah. So number one, hearts go out to those who were affected.
Yes.
As gun people here, we never condone, we never celebrate any of these things. These are, you guys are against the people who do mass shootings, and so are we, right?
Yeah.
Nobody condones this. It was a terrible act. Don't go out and do mass shootings. The gun community is not behind you, right? So
The gunman was from Las Vegas.
so wait a second. What? It's from Las Vegas. So wasn't that other guy? Wasn't there a Las Vegas shooting?
Oh God! Don't get me started on that.
I was gonna say
That was definitely a big conspiracy.
That's going to be an entire episode of Austin's hot take.
It's not Austin's hot take. It's Austin's conspiracy theory, which may not be a theory.
Don't get me started on that one. I just kind of want to see more about the guy.
Yes, 3 people killed outside the Grand. Oh no!
One of them was a police officer that got injured.
This was another shooting yesterday.
Like last night, I saw it.
There were 3 people killed outside the Grand Resort in Reno, Nevada, before police shot. So there were 2 mass shootings.
Well, was that a? Not that they're any different, but was that a mass shooting or was that like a?
I don't know. It just Grok is saying that there was another shooting reported.
This one says that this guy had something to do with the NFL. That he was actually targeting the NFL and that he was suffering from CTE.
Oh, really?
This is weird.
In a high-rise building.
Oh, that's terrible. So the guy, I guess the shooter had a history of mental illness.
That's what the mayor of New York
acted alone, died from self-inflicted gun wound. So history of mental illness. There you go. That's another law. That's a federal law that you shouldn't have a gun.
Should not have a firearm. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's
open
tragic.
fire from inside and outside of a high-rise office building, injuring a police officer and at least one other person. Police are currently searching and securing the building, with reports indicating that the suspect may be dead. Introducing a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
That's the live one you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. He. This is as of like an hour ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the mayor said that he was targeting the National Football League, but accidentally took the wrong elevator.
Oh no.
But he not thankfully, but he thankfully only killed one innocent person after he got into the elevator before he
offed himself. Yeah. Well, Geez, again, it's not anything we condone. Wanted to talk about it though because it was kind of breaking news.
Yeah, it's breaking news.
I mean, we're going to release this episode in the next couple of days.
Yeah, and it's more like Brandon said, as like the reason we bring these things up is like bullets are illegal in New York, much less guns. But
yeah,
but
this still happens.
So to Congressman Murphy, the Senator Murphy. It's not going to help anything.
More laws won't help.
No,
more laws won't help.
No.
So and in our community, the 2A community, we're always very tepid on when people say like common sense gun laws because that means something, right? But if honestly, it's like, okay, if somebody could propose something that would actually work. Okay, I think the 2A community could be open to it. But look, more laws like banning things. Bans don't work, clearly, right? Because guns are banned in New York City, period, right? Guns, ammo, whatever, all banned. So, but who's following the ban? He's clearly not following the ban. The shooting still happened, the tragedy still happened.
I mean, heroin's illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
It's everywhere. It's gonna come from outside of the place where it's illegal,
Yeah,
it's like that's the part that no one has been able to explain to the 2A community under this common sense gun laws.
Yeah,
is that you can push your laws at us, but it's like we can tell you that it's not gonna work, and it's not that we're saying it's not gonna work because you'll never come and take our guns. It's like it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Crime doesn't stop because you made laws.
Yeah, the law-abiding citizens, the people who are going to follow the laws, are going to follow. Like 99% of the people who own firearms follow the law.
Yeah,
right. So so what do you do about the 1%?
Yeah,
right. I mean, how do you? So if you could have a common sense action that would stop this, that doesn't penalize all law-abiding citizens.
Yeah,
right?
we would love to hear it.
Yeah. Or, because what doesn't make the news, right, are those situations where law-abiding citizens protect themselves with firearms daily, right? And it never makes the news,
Yeah.
And
there was one a couple weeks ago. I cannot remember what it was about, but
yeah, because people, but to that point, there's like nobody covers in the news when people follow the law, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, look at that guy. He's driving the speed limit. Like, good for him. Nobody cares, right? If you're following the law, nobody cares. And it's the same thing with gun owners. People who discharge their firearms in their own self-protection, they never get covered because it's not news. They're following the law. They did everything right.
Right.
And so there are, and people don't understand this that aren't in firearms, or they can't, compartmentalize this in their head somehow. There are people, not us necessarily, right? Us younger, tend to be, like, I guess, health conscious and try to work out and do all that stuff, right? Is there an argument you could make that we could protect ourselves physically? Probably, right? But I can tell you my sister, who is half my size, not my height, probably, very tiny, right?
Yeah, I mean, also criminals have guns too.
They sure do. Well, I'm even just saying, for my sister to protect herself, against a normal average size 200-pound man.
Yeah.
She's not going to be able to fight him back.
I can't fight back against a 200-pound man.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the thing. There are people who protect themselves with guns, every day.
Yeah.
Right? And to take that away.
Also, if you're trying to harm me, I'm not going to fight fair.
Exactly. Yeah. No. We're going to try to end that thing right now.
Yeah. I don't fight. I mean, like, there's disagreements, but like, if your intentions are to harm me or my family or an innocent, civilian, we're not fighting fair.
No.
You've lost the chance to fight fair.
Correct. Yeah. And going back to what I say all the time, if you're in a state that has concealed carry, take the class, even if you don't need to take the class, right? Because you need to learn the law. If you're within the law and you've made that decision that you need to protect yourself, you are under deathly duress that a firearm is the only answer. When that thing comes out of the holster,
you've made a decision.
You've made the decision.
There's no going back.
Yeah. So, but I guess all I'm saying is that, when people talk about common sense gun laws, nobody ever talks about the people who actually need the guns to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Law-abiding citizens. And if you are making these blanket laws to try to stop criminals from being criminals, right? The only people you're hurting are the people who actually use those firearms to protect themselves. And I'm not talking about the law enforcement or the military. I'm talking about, my sister, grandparents, or anybody who's not able-bodied that can't fight off a 200-pound man.
Yeah, like Brandon.
Yeah, if you can't fight off Brandon, then you probably need a gun.
No, Brandon's the guy that couldn't do it.
So couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
So anyway, I'm off my soapbox. So that's probably the JP soapbox hour that just passed.
JP soapbox, Austin's hot takes, and Brandon's advice.
Finish rambling.
Brandon's advice.
I think that's good for now. One thing I'll mention is that for those of you guys who are in our area, we are having a level 1 USPSA championship at the range, the first of its kind, the Sentry Showdown on September 14th. The guys have been planning for months and working really hard. We just got our t-shirt designs in, so we're voting on that. We'll have t-shirts that will actually be for sale on thebrowndukeshow.com. And if you're interested in buying one, reach out to me. I'll get you the discount code so that you can buy it at cost-ish, and, it'll ship straight to your house.
It'll be in September.
I'm putting it
at
on
the range on a Sunday.
Putting it on my calendar.
And if you don't shoot USPSA and you want to come watch, you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah.
If you do, or if you're interested, you can come and shoot like a regular match on Thursday to kind of see how you like it, and then sign up for the Showdown, I think it's called.
Yeah, the Sentry Showdown.
Sentry Showdown. And they'll have prizes, so a prize table. You don't have to win, I don't think, to be a prize table.
No. It's going to be a random draw. Prizes provided by Sentry Defense, thank you, and Sentry Manufacturing, thank you. The Brown Duke Gun Show is sponsoring. So we also have Doc Freeman and his organization sponsoring the match, and I'm working on some others. So hopefully we'll have some nice prizes. I know that one of the guys from the club is cooking jambalaya, so we'll have food there. We'll have the Ace VR systems out there for those who want to try. If you don't want to try it in person, you can try it virtually. You can do the virtual shooting. We'll have some of that going on. Spectators welcome. If this would be a great time, like Brandon said, to just see what it's all about, try it out. Maybe we'll try to get some of the local
Legends.
Some of the local legends to come out and either cover it, participate, shoot, whatever you want to do. Won't name them yet, so we don't pull them on the carpet, but try to get some maybe local press coverage and stuff like that too. So I think that's it. Gents, anything else that you guys want to mention on this show?
Not that I could think of.
Okay.
No, good.
It's good to be reunited. Thank you guys.
Yep.
And we will see you again soon.